There comes a time when you feel like everything is against you. No matter how much effort you put in, nothing seems to work. You push, you fight, but the world keeps throwing obstacles in your way. The weight of failure feels unbearable. Doubt creeps in. You start questioning yourself. Am I even good enough? Is this all pointless? The people around you don't see the battles you fight. They don't hear the thoughts screaming in your head. You watch others succeed while you struggle to take just one step forward. It feels unfair. It feels exhausting. Every rejection, every setback, every moment of defeat chips away at your confidence. You feel stuck in a never-ending cycle of trying and failing. You wonder, is it even worth it? This is where most people stop. But what if this is where your story really begins? You've given your best, again and again, and yet it feels like nothing is working. Every step forward is met with resistance. Every effort seems to fall short. You watch others succeed while you struggle just to stay afloat. You wonder, why is this so hard? Why does it feel like the universe is working against you? Failure after failure, setback after setback. Every time you get close to something, it slips away. Opportunities vanish, plans fall apart, and dreams seem further away than ever. You try to stay strong, but deep inside, a voice whispers, maybe this isn't meant for you. It's not just about effort anymore. It's about exhaustion. You're tired of starting over, tired of trying, tired of feeling like you're the only one struggling while everyone else moves forward. You feel stuck, trapped in a loop where no matter how hard you push, you end up back at the same place, disappointed, defeated, drained. You look around, and it seems like others have it easier. They get the breaks, they get the opportunities. You wonder, what am I doing wrong? Am I missing something? Am I just not good enough? The doubt creeps in, settling in the back of your mind like a shadow that never leaves. It whispers to you when you're alone, when you're exhausted, when you're on the verge of giving up. You start questioning yourself. Maybe you were never meant for greatness. Maybe success isn't for people like you. Maybe all those dreams, all those ambitions were just illusions, things meant for someone else, but not for you. You've heard people say, just work harder, just be patient, just keep going. But they don't understand. They don't see the nights you've spent doubting yourself, the mornings where getting out of bed feels like a battle. They don't know what it's like to give everything you have only to see it all fall apart. Doubt isn't just a thought, it's a feeling, a constant suffocating presence. It clings to you, drags you down, makes you believe that no matter what you do, you'll never be enough. You replay every mistake in your head, the missed chances, the wrong decisions, the moments you could have done better. They haunt you, reminding you of every time you tried and failed. You wonder if all this struggle is even worth it. And the worst part? You feel alone. You feel like no one understands. People see your smiles, your small victories, but they don't see the battles you fight in your mind. They don't hear the doubts that whisper to you at night. They don't know the weight you carry every single day. You try to talk about it, but the words don't come out right. People tell you to stay positive, to keep your head up, but they don't realize you're not looking for words of encouragement. You're looking for a reason to believe in yourself again. And then, slowly, the thought creeps in. Maybe quitting is the best option. Maybe it's easier to stop trying, to walk away, to accept that some things just aren't meant to be. Maybe the world is right. Maybe the odds are too great. You tell yourself that it's okay to give up, that you've tried enough, that no one would blame you for walking away. And yet, deep inside, something doesn't sit right. A tiny voice, so quiet, almost gone, whispers, "Is this really how you want your story to end?" You remember why you started. You remember the dreams that once burned so brightly inside you. The moments when you believed, really believed, that you were meant for something more. But now those dreams feel distant, faded, as if they belong to someone else. You wonder if you can ever get that fire back. You stare at yourself in the mirror and ask, do I still have it in me? Can I really keep going? You push yourself harder, but the world pushes back. Every rejection, every failure, every setback, it all compounds. You tell yourself that success takes time, but time feels like an enemy now, ticking away while you remain stuck in the same place. You think about the sacrifices you've made, the sleepless nights, the days spent working, training, pushing yourself to the limit. You think about everything you've given, and yet, where are the results? People don't see the struggle. They only see the outcomes. They judge you based on what you have, not on how hard you've fought. And when you have nothing to show for your efforts, the world doesn't care about how much you tried. It only asks one thing: did you succeed or did you fail? You start to believe that maybe they're right, that maybe effort isn't enough, that maybe, no matter how much you want it, some things are just out of reach. You think about quitting, not because you want to, but because you don't know what else to do, because you're tired, because you don't know if you have any fight left in you. This is the moment that defines everything, not when things are easy, not when things are going well, but right here, right now, when everything feels impossible, when every voice in your head tells you to stop, when every sign points to failure. This is where most people give up, but this is also where the strongest people are made. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't talent. It isn't luck. It isn't even skill. It's something deeper, something greater. It's the ability to stand back up when everything tells you to stay down. Most people don't fail because they're not capable. They fail because they give up too soon, because they let the challenges break them instead of build them, because they see obstacles as reasons to stop instead of reasons to push harder. And so, in this moment, you have a choice. The same choice that every great person before you has faced. The same choice that will determine everything. Stay down or rise. This is where your journey truly begins, not in success, not in comfort, but in struggle. Because when the odds are against you, you have two options: give in or push harder. And those who push harder, they are the ones who change their own destiny. There comes a point in every journey where the weight of failure feels too heavy to carry. You've been knocked down so many times that standing back up feels pointless. You begin to believe the voices in your head that tell you it's over, that maybe, just maybe, this isn't for you. You've tried, you've fought, you've given everything you had, and yet the results don't match the effort. The pain of falling short again and again is exhausting. It's easy to think, maybe it's not worth it anymore. Maybe I should just let go. And that moment when you think about quitting, when everything in you screams to walk away, that is the most dangerous moment of all. Because this is where your future is decided, not in the victories, not in the easy days, but right here, right now, when you are tired, broken, and questioning everything. This is where the difference is made. This is where the weak give up, and the strong push forward. A war is raging inside you. On one side, there is the voice of doubt telling you to stop, telling you that all this effort is leading nowhere, that you should just quit before you embarrass yourself any further. On the other side, there is something else, something deeper, something stronger, a voice that refuses to die, no matter how much you try to silence it. It reminds you why you started. It tells you that you are not done yet, that even though you are struggling, you are still here. That means something. But which voice will you listen to? Which path will you choose? This moment isn't just about this one challenge. It's about the kind of person you choose to be. Because how you handle this moment, how you handle struggle, will define you for the rest of your life. If you give up now, it won't just be this battle you lose. It will be a habit you form, a habit of quitting when things get tough. And once that habit takes hold, it will control you forever. But if you push forward, if you refuse to break, if you fight even when everything tells you to stop, then you become unstoppable. Every great person you admire, every success story, every champion, every leader, they all face this moment. The moment where everything seemed impossible. The moment where they were given every reason to quit. And they had a choice, to give in or to fight harder. What separates the great from the average is not luck. It's not talent. It's not even intelligence. It's their refusal to quit. Their refusal to let failure define them. Their ability to push forward when every bone in their body is telling them to stop. The greatest victories in history were won by people who refused to accept defeat, who looked at impossible situations and said, "Not today, not me." Because quitting is easy. Walking away is easy. But the things that are truly worth it in life, they are never easy. They are fought for. They are earned. When you feel like you can't take another step, that's exactly when you must. When you feel like you have nothing left, that's when you dig deeper. Because that one extra push, that one more second of effort, that one more day of grinding, that is where breakthroughs happen. So many people quit right before they are about to succeed. They stop when the finish line is just around the corner, but they never know it because they give up too soon. But not you. Not this time. You are going to take one more step, and then another. You are going to push yourself beyond what you thought was possible. Because this time, you are not letting failure win. This time, you are writing your own story. And so, here you are, at the edge of your breaking point. You have two choices. One, you can walk away. You can tell yourself that you tried, that you gave it your best shot, and that it just wasn't meant to be. You can choose comfort over struggle, safety over risk, and you can spend the rest of your life wondering what could have been. Or two, you can make the choice that changes everything. You can stand up, shake off the doubt, and take control. You can push harder than you ever have before. You can choose to fight, to persist, to prove to yourself and to the world that you will not be defeated. This is your moment. The moment where you decide what kind of person you are. The moment where you prove that no obstacle, no setback, no failure will ever be enough to break you. Because you were not meant to quit. You were meant to rise. Think about the version of yourself that never gave up. The version of yourself that fought through the pain, the doubt, and the struggle. The version of yourself that kept going when everyone else stopped. That person exists. That person is waiting for you on the other side of this challenge. But you will never meet that version of yourself if you quit now. You will never see how far you could go, how great you could become, if you walk away. Success doesn't come to those who wait for it. It comes to those who fight for it. To those who refuse to let failure win. To those who keep going, no matter how hard it gets. And now, it's your turn, your moment, your decision. Are you going to stay down, or are you going to push harder? Because when the odds are against you, when everything tells you to stop, that is the moment you must push harder than ever before. That is the moment that defines everything. That is the moment where true strength is born. Pain is something we all face. It's unavoidable. Whether it's the pain of failure, the pain of hard work, or the pain of rejection, it's part of the journey. And when you're in the middle of it, when you're exhausted, when you're broken, it's easy to believe that the only way out is to quit. But here's the truth. Pain is not your enemy. Struggle is not your enemy. They are your greatest teachers. They break you down, but they also build you up. They show you who you really are. They reveal your limits, and then dare you to push beyond them. Every person who has ever achieved something great has faced moments where the pain seemed unbearable, where the struggle felt endless, where giving up seemed like the only logical choice. But they didn't. They fought back. They pushed harder, and that's what made them different. This is the moment that defines you. When you're standing at the edge, ready to give up, ready to walk away. This is where you have to ask yourself, is this where my story ends? Or is this where I push harder? Because success isn't about talent. It isn't about luck. It isn't about who has the easiest path. It's about who is willing to endure, who is willing to take the pain and use it, who is willing to get up one more time, then they fall. Your body will scream for you to stop. Your mind will tell you that you can't go any further. But that's not the truth. The truth is, you always have more inside you, more strength, more fight, more resilience. And the moment you realize that, the moment you stop listening to the doubt and start listening to your own power, that's when everything changes. When everything in you wants to stop, take one more step, and then another, and another, because that's where breakthroughs happen. That's where greatness is built. Not in comfort, not in ease, but in the moments where you force yourself to go beyond what you thought was possible. Think about every champion, every legend, every person who has made history. What do they all have in common? They didn't stop when it got hard. They didn't quit when the pain became unbearable. They kept going. They pushed harder. They refused to accept defeat. The moment when you feel like you have nothing left is the exact moment when you need to give everything you have. Because most people quit right before they're about to succeed. They stop just short of the breakthrough. But if you can keep pushing, if you can fight for just one more second, one more day, one more chance, you will break through. You were never meant to live an average life. You were never meant to settle for less than you're capable of. You were meant to fight, to push, to rise above the challenges that try to hold you back. And the only thing standing between you and the life you want is your willingness to keep going. There will always be obstacles. There will always be setbacks. There will always be moments where the odds seem impossible. But none of that matters. The only thing that matters is what you do next. Are you going to let the struggle break you? Or are you going to use it to make you stronger? Because struggle is not a sign that you're failing. It's a sign that you're growing. It's a sign that you're becoming the person you were meant to be. So don't back down. Don't walk away. Push harder. Fight harder. Because every time you refuse to quit, you are proving to yourself and to the world that you are unstoppable. There comes a moment when everything you've been fighting for, every struggle, every tear, every setback, suddenly makes sense. It doesn't happen in a flash of luck. It doesn't come easy. It comes after you've been knocked down more times than you can count. It comes after you've felt the weight of failure pressing down on your shoulders, daring you to quit, but you don't. Because you have learned something powerful. Success is not about never falling. It's about rising every time you do. And now you understand that every time you got back up, you weren't just surviving. You were building something. Strength, resilience, an unbreakable spirit. There was a time when you doubted yourself, when you thought you weren't good enough, strong enough, or capable enough. You looked at others and wondered why they seemed to move forward while you struggled just to stay in the game. But now, you see it clearly. It was never about them. It was always about you. The moment you stopped comparing your journey to others and focused on your own fight, that's when everything changed. You stopped looking for shortcuts. You stopped waiting for an easy way out. You embraced the struggle, accepted the pain, and decided that if you had to fight your way forward, you would, no matter what it took. That was the moment of breakthrough, not when you won, not when you finally succeeded, but when you realized that nothing, no failure, no setback, no rejection, could break you unless you let it. Most people give up too soon. They quit because they don't see immediate results. They let the pain convince them that the effort isn't worth it, but not you. You kept going, even when it felt like you were running in circles. even when it felt like all your hard work was leading nowhere. And that's why you're here now, standing in a place you once thought was impossible to reach. Because every struggle, every sleepless night, every moment of doubt prepared you for this. You've earned your breakthrough, not because it was given to you, but because you refused to surrender before it arrived. The truth is, success doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who endure. The people who keep going, even when it feels pointless. The ones who take one more step when their legs are shaking. The ones who refuse to let failure define them. Looking back, you can see it now. Every obstacle wasn't there to stop you. It was there to make you stronger. Every no you heard, every door that closed in your face, every failure that made you question yourself, it was all preparing you for this moment. Because strength isn't built in comfort, it's built in struggle. It's built when you push past the pain, when you stand back up after being knocked down. And now you know, there is nothing that can break you. Because every time you fall, you will rise again. This is your power, not perfection, not luck, not even talent, but the ability to keep fighting, to keep standing, no matter how many times life tries to knock you down. And that makes you unstoppable. People might look at your success now and think it came easy. They won't see the struggle behind it. They won't know about the moments you almost gave up, the times when you doubted yourself, when you fought through exhaustion, when you failed and had to start over. But you will know, and that's what matters. Because the real victory isn't just in the success itself. It's in knowing that you earned it, that you fought for it, that you refused to quit when you had every reason to. And now, when you face your next challenge, you won't fear it. Because you've been through the fire before, and you came out stronger. And then one day, it happens. The breakthrough. The moment everything changes. The moment you prove to yourself and the world that you were never meant to stay down. That every drop of sweat, every sleepless night, every battle was worth it. You've spent days, weeks, months, maybe even years, fighting, struggling, pushing beyond your limits. You've questioned yourself, doubted your strength, and wondered if it was all for nothing. But then, one day, something shifts. The effort you put in, the sacrifices you made, the battles you fought, it all starts to pay off. The doors that once seemed permanently closed begin to open. The things that once felt impossible now feel within reach. And for the first time in a long time, you realize you made it. Not by luck, not by chance, but because you refused to quit. Because you pushed harder when everything told you to stop. Because when the odds were stacked against you, you didn't run. You fought. Success doesn't come in an instant. It builds slowly, behind the scenes, long before you ever see the results. And when that moment finally arrives, the moment when all the struggle turns into something real, you feel it. It's in the quiet realization that you are no longer the person who once doubted themselves, that the challenges that once seemed impossible now feel like stepping stones, that the pain you endured didn't break you, it built you. You look around, and people may call you lucky. They may say things just worked out for you. But they don't know the truth. They don't know about the nights you spent grinding, the times you failed but tried again, the moments you could have walked away but chose not to. But you know, and that's what matters. Victory isn't just about the achievement itself. It's about the journey. It's about proving to yourself that you are stronger than every excuse, every doubt, every fear that tried to stop you. You realize that success isn't just about talent. It's not about being the smartest, the fastest, or the strongest. It's about resilience. It's about being the person who gets up one more time than they fall. The person who pushes through the pain, through the failures, through the frustration, until they reach the other side. That's what separates those who make it from those who don't. Not luck, not gifts, but effort, consistency. The willingness to endure, to grow, to keep moving forward even when everything seems against you. Because in the end, you didn't just win. You transformed. You became someone unstoppable, someone who refuses to be defined by setbacks, someone who doesn't break under pressure but thrives in it. Strength isn't built in comfort. It's built in struggle, in pushing yourself beyond what you thought was possible, in choosing to keep going when you had every reason to stop. And now, when you look back at the journey, the pain, the failures, the moments of doubt, you wouldn't trade any of it, because you know that without the struggle, you wouldn't be who you are today. The very things that tried to break you are the things that built you. You see now that every failure had a purpose, every setback was a lesson, every obstacle forced you to grow, to adapt, to become better. And now, you are living proof that effort pays off. That struggle is not the end of the road. It's the beginning of something greater. Once, you feared failure. Once, you saw struggle as a sign to stop. But not anymore. Now you understand the truth. Challenges aren't roadblocks. They are stepping stones. They are opportunities to prove your strength, to sharpen your skills, to become even greater than you were before. Now, when a new challenge arises, you don't run from it. You embrace it. You welcome it, because you know that every battle you face is just another chance to grow, another chance to push past your limits, another chance to rise even higher. You are no longer afraid of the odds. You no longer back down when things get hard, because now you understand that strength isn't given, it's earned. When the odds are against you, don't back down. Push harder, because that's where real strength is born. And when you push through, when you refuse to quit, you don't just win a battle, you win your future. You win the life you were meant to have, a life not given, but fought for, a life built on resilience, on effort, on the decision to rise every single time you fall. This is proof that no matter how impossible things may seem, no matter how many times you've failed, no matter how much the world tries to hold you back, if you push hard enough, if you refuse to quit, if you fight for your dreams with everything you have, you will succeed. Because the only way to fail is to stop trying. And as long as you keep going, as long as you keep pushing, as long as you never back down, you will always find a way forward. This is your story, your journey, your victory, and it's only the beginning. If this inspired you, like, subscribe, and share, because someone out there needs this reminder to keep pushing harder.